Documentation and requirement. Two career multiplying skills, which most admin skips, but it pays you it later. By end of this module, you will document anything in minutes, generate user training materials in 3 formats, and translate vague requirement into clarity. Next 25 minutes are actually going to give you career changing skills. Documentation is your career insurance. Most admin don't realize this. Without docs, you are a single point of failure. No one can take over your work. You can't go on vacation. Audit becomes a nightmare. Promotions are blocked. With docs, you are a multiplier, not a bottleneck. You enable team scaling. You are audit ready always. You are promotion eligible. You sleep better too. The old excuse is documentation takes too long. But the new reality with Claude, you can generate professional documents in 5 minutes. This excuse of documentation taking too long is dead. Let's try to make documentation your secret weapon. Here's a universal prompt. Save this. Use it for object flows, processes, anything you need to document. Structure is it generates Markdown format with clear headers. Tables for structured data, plain language. Section include purpose, business context, how it works, configuration details, permission required, common task, known issues. Let's make it professional, scannable with no fluff. Use this template every time. Documentation becomes effortless. Let me show you. I'll document a validation rule. Let's look at to that particular validation rule first. Take for example this particular validation rule. Now the very first thing that we need to do is we need to get the metadata of this particular the context of this particular validation rule. To do that, we will take help. Yes. To do that, we will take help of Salesforce Inspector. Now, when I say show all data tooling API, let me just go and copy this table. Now I'll go back to the cloud. Over here, for the time being, I'll just paste this. This is my entire metadata about that particular thing. Now we will go back and copy paste this particular prompt. So just to reiterate, what we have done so far is we have copy pasted using Salesforce Inspector the metadata, and now I'm copy pasting the prompt. Over here, we'll make changes, generate professional documentation for, we'll say validation rule. In the context where we have to paste the schema, here we are going to take this entire thing, but we have it. And let's paste it over here. And let's send this to Claude. Now Claude is generating the documentation based on the information that we have provided. And what we have done so far, we just copy pasted the metadata. And now we are getting the business context. We are getting how it works. We are getting configuration details. All of this information is coming from the metadata that we copy pasted. permission required, common task, retrieval, tells us also how to test the rule, known issues. Let's go back to our presentation. So to reiterate what we did, we made use of the prompt, then we pasted the metadata, added the business context, and it generated a markdown for us. Now here's a power move. We can generate 3 document formats from the same source material. Let's take, for example, format 1 is for internal reference doc. It has to be technical. For other admins and dev, it should have full configuration detail. Format 2 should be for end user guide. It has to be instructional for sales rep or end user, step by step how to focus. Format 3 is executive summary, business focus for stakeholders, why it matters, and business impact. Now we will just go back to our Claude, and there we'll just say now generate the same documentation in 3 audience. Okay. Now let's go back to Claude. I'll just copy paste. Now generate the same documentation, 3 audience, technical audience, end user, and executive. Now Claude is going to take the same document information that we provided earlier and is going to generate documentation for 3 different audiences for us. So it is now generating for us. So it is for technical admin, then for end user, and for executive also. Still generating. Still generating. On the top, you will see technical admin, end user, and executive. And then we will see different documents also. So now it is done. So now we can see, suppose I want to see it for executive, it's a different one. So we can, for the same text, we have a different type of documentation. For the end user, we will have different type of documentation. And for technical admin, we have a different type of documentation. This is for the same validation rule. Let's go back to our presentation. Similarly, let's try to document the flow. To do that, let's first go to a flow. So for the flow also, we'll make use of Salesforce Inspector. We'll say download metadata. Over here, we will search for the flow. Let's take, for example, this customer satisfaction. I'll say retrieve metadata. It's going to generate a metadata file. Let's open that metadata file. Has this package.xml. And from package.xml, we will just copy paste the content over here. Now, let's paste the context as plain text. So Now we have to paste our prompt also over here. So we'll go back to our presentation. Let's copy this particular one. Paste this. Generator for flow. Let's say flow over here. Context, say flow XML is attached, and we'll say send it. So now whatever flow XML we have copy pasted, it is going to generate a documentation for that particular flow. It's going to take some time. And this is what you will see, the flow documentation on the right hand side. It has documented the entire flow for us. So going back to the presentation,